Welcome back to The Wandering Screen. I'm Matt Koss and I'm diving into A Complete Unknown starring Timothée Chalamet as a young Bob Dylan. Let's get into it. Timothée Chalamet embodies Dylan at 19, fresh off a bus from Minnesota, ready to change the world with his guitar and his words. The film chronicles Dylan's rise from playing in tiny basement bars to headlining music festivals, culminating in his infamous performance at the Newport Folk Festival, where he shocked the crowd with his new electric sound. It's a fascinating snapshot of a man caught between his roots and his revolutionary urge to create something entirely new. Based on a book by Elijah Wold, Dylan Goes Electric, Newport Seeger, Dylan, and The Night That Split the 60s, the film's screenplay was penned by Jay Cox and James Mangold, who also directs. Mangold is known for his work on Walk the Line and Ford v Ferrari. He brings a skillful touch to this unconventional biopic, immersing us in the mind of a young man on the verge of a musical and personal reinvention. What really stands out about the screenplay are the songs. The music drives the narrative, setting the emotional tone and underscoring pivotal moments in Dylan's journey. They're not just the Essentials playlist from Apple Music, but narratively selected to move us forward without having to use dialogue. The first time we see and hear Dylan play is really powerful. Shalamay's Dylan arrives in New York and immediately heads to New Jersey to visit his idol, Woody Guthrie, Scoot McNairy, who's in hospital and is unable to speak. He's also being visited by his friend Pete Seeger, Edward Norton, when Bob Dylan walks in, and they're both intrigued by this shaggy-haired boy carrying a guitar. In a moment that feels like a spark waiting to ignite, Dylan pulls out his guitar and sings, "The Scene is Electric." Chalamet's performance crackles with anticipation, and from the first note, we know Dylan isn't just a folk singer, he's a force. As Dylan's career skyrockets, the film takes us deeper into his world. He's constantly writing, whether it's after a late-night booty call with Joan Baez, played by Monica Barbaro, a renowned folk singer who collaborates with Dylan, or in the quiet and messy solitude of his apartment. His songs spill out of him, but the man can barely make himself a cup of coffee. He couldn't even find a coffee filter if he tried. The women in his life, including his on-again, off-again girlfriend Sylvie, Elle Fanning, become secondary to his creative drive. They're supportive but ultimately peripheral, as Dylan's mind is always elsewhere, consumed by the urgent need to write. Dylan's relationship with Pete Seeger becomes central to the story, and Seeger, played with so much empathy and depth by Edward Norton, serves as both mentor and moral compass, urging Dylan to stay true to his roots even as the young singer begins to push boundaries. Their tension is palpable but subtle, creating one of the film's most compelling relationships, and as Dylan's fame grows, so does this separation between them in both personal and artistic evolution. And it's this internal struggle that propels the film forward. A Complete Unknown is as much about Dylan's inner conflict and need to find his next song as it is about his external rise. There's a particular scene where Dylan arrives late to a recording of Pete Seeger's educational music show. Seeger has already asked a blues singer, played by Big Bill Morganfield, to take his spot. As Dylan walks in, he joins the impromptu jam, riffing with the musicians and finding a piece of himself in the strums of the electric guitar by this blues musician. It's a perfect representation of Bob Dylan pulling toward music. The film also does an excellent job balancing the social and political context of the 1960s without hitting you over the head with it. It's clear that Dylan's music is a reflection of the shifting cultural landscape, but the film doesn't need to lecture us about it. We get snippets of archival footage, but the atmosphere is there. Visually, A Complete Unknown is stunning. Cinematographer Phelan Papamichael brings a grainy, lived-in quality to the film that immerses you in the 1960s. The intimate, tight close-ups during the musical numbers are also really effective, bringing us face to face with Shalamay as he sings. You can almost See the vibrations in his throat, as if the very essence of Dylan's voice is pouring out through the screen. It's a brilliant choice that invites you into the raw, unfiltered power of the music. The performances across the board are outstanding. Elle Fanning brings depth to Sylvie, capturing the quiet resilience of a woman who loves a man lost in his own head. Boyd Holbrook is nearly unrecognizable as Johnny Cash and is really great in this film. But it's Edward Norton's portrayal of Pete Seeger that truly stands out from the supporting cast. This is easily one of his best performances, and his Seeger is the heart and soul figure in the film. Someone struggling to keep up with Dylan while also wanting to protect him from himself. And then, of course, there's Timothée Chalamet. What a performance. It's easy to get lost in it. His portrayal of Dylan is raw and magnetic. His physicality changes. He's stoic, closed off, eyes looking downward. It says so much about the character's internal struggles. But when he sings, something cracks open. His voice isn't just a vehicle for the lyrics, it's a window into Dylan's soul. It's a transformative performance that feels as much like a revelation as it does an act of art, and it's the next defining chapter of Chalamet's career. This film was a spiritual experience for me. The music felt not only contextualized but deeply important, and I left the theater with a renewed appreciation for the power of transformation. A Complete Unknown isn't just a film about Bob Dylan, it's about any artist, any person trying to find their voice in a world that wants to tell them who they should be. It's about forging your own path, embracing change and honoring your past while moving towards the future, and dragging mud on the rug, making your presence known. In the end, A Complete Unknown is about one thing, the freedom to be who you are.
They're past, Sylvie. They remember what they want. They forget the rest.
I want to know which side he's on.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
I want to hear it.
How does it feel?
Turn it down!
Play it loud.
Make some noise, BD.
To have you on your own, like a complete unknown.
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for all the latest reviews. Let me know in the comments section below what your favorite Bob Dylan song is. See you next time.